Alrighty then. Should I share my screen? Yes. Howdy ho. All right, we're gonna make a hand. A hand that is animated. The best hand in the world? Probably not. The most accurate rig? Probably not, but it gives us an idea of what we could do with these forward kinematic rigs and how we can animate things and change them and make it look like someone busted their hand open. Does not look happy. All right, let's get started. Ow. Fingers aren't supposed to do that. Let's go ahead and hide this collection. Let's start a new one. Hello, new collection. And what I want you to do is do a top-down view of it. Okay, so press the Z, get a top-down view. And then, oh, I need to get an object one. All right, we're going to go into Shift A, add a cube, and we're looking down, right? Actually, let's change this a bit. Go ahead and move your mouse, middle mouse click, and move your mouse. We're going to do S on the Z and shrink it down a little bit. And then now that we know how thin it is, maybe a little bit more. We're going to S and X and S and Y. Make a general hand shape. Okay, look at your hand. About as long, as wide as your hand is. Good. Next is our thumb. So all we need to do is Shift D, duplicate that. But we're going to scale it down on the X and scale it down on the Y axis to get a general thumb shape. R to rotate and put it where a thumb generally would go. So at this point, this becomes an issue. So say you already rotated it, but you're like, I want it to get smaller from here to here. You could S and X, but it's gonna change the look of your shape. So we don't necessarily want that. What we want to do is we want to shift the transform operations from global to local. So now when we S and X, it's going to shift it on its local axes, which is really handy. So your knuckle has two joints. Yeah, two joints. And it's a pretty thick item. And then we're gonna Shift D, duplicate it again, S down, R to rotate, bring it in, and S, X to bring it up. And there's thumb. So now the fingers. Let's grab this box right here, Shift D to duplicate. And one easy way to make it square like this, like there's no rotation, is just to Alt R. I'm just going to clear the rotation. It says optional. In reality, it's Y. S, then X to scale down. And what we're going to do here, we're going to go ahead and S and Y. Bring it out a little bit. G to grab it. And we're going to bring it roughly right here. Shift D to duplicate. Here. Scale it down a bit. S. Grab and move. Your index finger has three joints. We're going to have three joints there. Let's see. And then Shift D, duplicate. Scale. Got one finger. We could always go back and adjust the scale and size of that at a later time. Let's select all three of these. One, Shift, select two, Shift, select three. And we're going to Shift D, duplicate. If you take a look at your hand, you'll notice your middle finger is larger than your index finger, like it's longer than your index finger. So we're going to S on the y-axis. We're going to scale on the y-axis. I'm just going to make that a little bit bigger. And we can duplicate it, Shift D. And grab, that looks pretty good. And the last one is our pinky, so Shift D and S on the Y. Looks pretty good. The only thing is the hand right here, the palm. We're going to S and X. I'm going to scale it out some more. And maybe S and Y, scale it out. All right, our thumb is hidden. So let's take our thumb, G to grab. Scale that up. Oh, now it's really big. So here's one thing we could do. So you'll notice that part of the fingers are kind of cutting into the palm, and I got this extra space here. So what we could do is we could turn on X-ray mode, and that allows us to click through objects, which is really handy. And I'm going to go to this one. I'm going to go into edit mode, and I'm going to use edge select and click out, so I'm not selecting anything. Then click and drag and just grab this edge here, G to grab and Y, and we're going to shift that up. We're going to do the same here, so I press tab to get back in object mode. Select this part, tab to edit mode, select just those edges, grab Y, there, tab object, click, on a tab, and then G, Y, and might as well do this one too. Y, okay, and last is this one, edge, GX, bring that in a bit. And bring our thumb back, and there we go. We have ourselves generally a hand. You notice some Z fighting in here just because these faces are directly aligned with each other. So one way to fix that is just scale Z and scale it up a little bit. Get rid of those issues. Actually, SC is scaled up a little more. There. So we have a general hand shape. Now it's time to add our armature. And I'll do that in a different video, I think.